Time now for Uncancelled. And this is where Britain's top commentators speak out on controversial issues without the fear of the cancel culture sweeping the rest of the media. Now, remember this trans activist who called on people to punch a TERF?
I was going to come here and be really fluffy and be really nice and say, yeah, be really lovely and queer and gay. No, if you see a TERF, punch him in the face.
Well, Sarah-Jane Barker, who we've just seen there, has now been recalled to prison for breaching licence conditions and charged with a public order offence for that stunt at a trans pride event in London. It comes as controversial US trans swimmer Leah Thomas was pictured with a provocative Antifa shirt reading "Antifa Super Soldier" in a social media post. Well, coincidentally, someone else who raised eyebrows with a humble T-shirt 5 years ago was women's rights activist Kellie-Jay Keen, whose adult human female garb, there she's got it on, sparked a half-decade battle to protect females from creeping trans ideology. I'm delighted to say she joins me now. And Kelly, let's be honest about it. This segment's called Uncancelled. In the past 5 years, you have been cancelled from the vast bulk of the mainstream media. I would argue, though, more people than ever now back your campaign.
Yeah. Well, it's amazing if you keep telling the truth and you repeat it without fear that eventually people catch on and feel that they can also speak the truth. And I think that's something that I really have strived to do right from the off. I don't use preferred pronouns or lie about people's sex. I don't pretend that an act of kindness is to pretend that I see something in front of me that I don't see. And we create space for women to feel that they can also, well, anybody really, but majority of everything that I do is women-centred, so that women feel that they can actually speak the truth without fear in the public square. And if they don't feel that they can utter the words, we ask them to be the billboard, because I was obviously banned. As soon as I put my first billboard up, nobody would allow me to put a billboard up with such a hateful, terrible message as this T-shirt.
Meanwhile, Kellie-Jay, I'd say the other side, and we saw it with Sarah-Jane Barker there, almost get a pass, almost seem to get a free pass. I mean, you were violently attacked in New Zealand. I don't believe there was any action taken against that individual. Initially, the police weren't going to do anything to Sarah-Jane Barker until it became political and the Home Secretary weighed in. Yeah.
Well, when it comes to the man that poured tomato soup on my head, he is, initially they were going to totally dismiss it. He's still trying for a dismissal, but that is going to a first hearing on the 20th of September. So as long as Chris Hipkins' government let me in, I'll be going back to New Zealand, because I feel that would be so much fun.
Oh, really? So tell me about that. So you're going to go back? You're going to do it again?
Yes, I am. Yeah, I think, look, there's a lot of Maori women that I met, and I apologise if I haven't pronounced that properly, but there's a lot of women, thanks so much. There's a lot of women in New Zealand who have been so badly let down. The fact that that could have happened the way it did on that day, that the police were sort of on the outskirts of the park, and then it was reported in New Zealand media, which I have to say, and we give them a good run for their money, but I think they are amongst the worst in the Western world.
Well, you see you see how shocked Chris Hipkins was when a journalist actually asked him, that's the Prime Minister, by the way, who replaced Jacinda Ardern, a journalist asked him, what's a woman? And you'd think he'd just been asked to recite the quantum physics textbook. You know, he literally ummed and ahed and had no answer and said, you're going to have to come back to me. It's astonishing. It is astonishing. Yeah. But you know why? You know why? These woke folk, Kelly, they know that they will be cancelled by their own tribe if they state biological realities. That's where we're at.
Well, yeah, but I just feel this stuff is contagious. So the more we lie and the more we pretend that we move over for people's feelings over facts, the more everybody has to do it, which is why Standing for Women and Party of Women, and we're just waiting for our application to be accepted, but the political party of Party of Women is just starting with this lie about biological sex. But really it's the most fundamental truth which has been lied about, which is that a woman can have a penis and a man can be a woman, and anyone can just say that they are exactly what they want. And the next minute we all have to go along with the lie. And so I'm so excited where we're going. I had no idea that when I sold that first T-shirt and some stickers 5 years ago, I naively thought, Dan, that we would put this billboard up and everyone would go, oh my goodness, of course. Of course it's an adult human female. What a silly thing. How terrible we've all been. All over. Right, well done. Let's move along with the truth. And clearly it didn't quite work like that.
No, indeed. Kellie-Jay Keen, thank you so much. Great to have you uncancelled tonight.